No mics today because I left them in my dorm room, and this is like an impromptu, not really planned, vid. Just, I don't even know where I want to drive. I think I'm gonna just go, I called my brother. I was gonna tell him that, hey, I'm taking the whip, and I'm just gonna, like, take it for, like, I guess a ride. I would say joyride, but I'm not feeling very joyous. All right, well, let's just, it's like overthinking Asian, right? These videos for me, kind of just like me, not me confiding with myself. I think I'm just a bad person. I'm not good at reaching out for like help, because I don't like the feeling of needing other people. I don't like having to like admit that like I can't do it myself. I think that's a very common kind of feeling that a lot of people have, not just men, but maybe men in particular, because that's the perspective I'm speaking from. And yeah, it's like, I don't want to go into my dorm room and like my roommate's there. Shout out my roommate. He's like one of like the 4 people that watch Overthinking Asian videos. I love my roommate, but obviously like you can't have an unfiltered conversation with yourself when you're talking with someone, because 1, you're not talking with yourself, and 2, you're obviously like, everyone filters differently depending on who they're talking to. And I never have completely unfiltered conversations with anyone, because that's just how people communicate. That's how it works. Sometimes you speak your mind completely, or you're never gonna fully kind of open up. I think that's fair for anyone. Maybe I guess not with my mom. I would probably never have a fully unfiltered convo with my mom. But yeah, that's what these videos are, because even when you're like with a therapist, like I've done therapy before 2 times, well 3 times. I've had 4 therapists in my life. I've had, or 5, I guess, and I think maybe you guys can figure out who the 5th one is. But yeah, I've had 5 therapists. First one at RMMS, Regional Multicultural Magnet School, the elementary school I went to. Her name was like Miss Jillian, and it was all anger issues. It was all about my anger issues. So I, talked with her about like anger and stuff, and I don't know, she just like told me to like, whenever you get mad, tense up your whole body, then let it go, and like let that like feeling of like tension releasing from your body like relax you and whatnot, which I think is good advice for like a 9-year-old kid or whatever. And I remember she also did the half cup half full exercise with me, from which I said okay, well, my brother's calling me, I'll cut back. Sorry for the cut. My brother's called me, let him know I'm driving here. Anyways, after Mrs. Jillian, we then move on to this lady named, I forgot her name. I only did like 3 therapy sessions with her before the insurance, like she was like out of network for us, and she was a really nice lady, and I really liked working with her because she was like a children's therapist, and was like, that was her job, was to talk to children. And I felt like even in the few sessions I had, I completely forgot what we talked about, but I do remember the feeling I had when I was with her, and I felt very safe, I felt heard, and I felt like I was making progress. But then it was out of network, so fuck me basically, and I had to stop going to that therapist. She was super nice and whatever. I guess, health insurance and, America and living in America, it's like you kind of just get railed all the time. So instead, after that, and this is all for anger issues, by the way, after that I went to this man named Jason. Absolute dickhead. Shitty therapist. This is, mind you, I'm like 11 years old, maybe 12 years old. And he's an adult therapist. So why the fuck am I a 12-year-old kid talking to an adult therapist? Like, he's definitely like, I can't blame him. Like, he's not meant to be talking with me, right? Like his skill set is not in navigating children's like issues, which Miss whatever her name was, like the second therapist, was. And that guy, it was a dark, I remember the lady who I don't remember her name, so my second therapist, her room was super bright. It was super bright, colorful walls, decorated. There was games. There was like nice little game table. It was very well put together and obviously meant for children. And then I remember Jason, his therapist, was an absolute fucking twat. His room was dark, real dark. It was like black everywhere. The lights were always dimmed. I sat on these like really uncomfortably plushy like leather couch. And I sat across from him while he had his legs crossed, and he'd look at me and say, "Why do you think you did this? And what do you think when this happens?" And blah blah blah. And sometimes he'd bring out a game, and I would always ask for a game, and he'd say, "No, we're not playing a game." So I'm like, "Well, fuck you, kid." And I basically just told him what I thought he wanted to hear. And how are you gonna get outplayed by a 12-year-old? Because bro said I was cured. Bro said I had no more anger issues, and I graduated. And guess what? I didn't. I continued to have severe anger issues for many years to come. And yeah, that guy just basically made me hate therapists and hate therapy in general, because I had a very bad experience with him. I did not like him at all. And yeah, so I didn't like him. So for a while I didn't have a therapist. And I have number 4 therapist in high school, senior year. Started going to school-based health center like the therapist. Her name was Mrs. Liffenoff, Anna. Wonderful person, super kind, very nice. Obviously is trained to work with like teenage, like high school people, and she did an amazing job. Like well, honestly, I'll be quite frank. I started making overthinking Asian videos before I started going to therapy with her. And which is nice is that when I was with her, I just felt like I was doing an overthinking Asian vid before in front of a live audience. And now I want to make this important distinction. So overthinking Asian, right? Let's just like give you a lore behind my channel. The first video I ever made was faceless, and I put the camera like on the side right here, so it was a view of like outside the car and driving around. It was post orchestra practice, and I don't know what like was like the catalyst that made me want to do it, but I was like, I don't know, I just decided I'm gonna record myself talking about shit, right? Just talk about my life. In that video, it was the first time I ever uttered the words of like me attempting suicide, or just like, you know, a lot of like inadequacies and scared and things that like I'm afraid of and blah blah blah. I was like, it was very deep, and that video will probably never be posted, to be quite frank. And I have, you know, 30, 40, maybe even 50 videos that will just never make it to the actual channel, because majority of those was just me, one, whining about BS stuff, or they're just me trying to navigate my own life, right? And I'll say the 5th therapist I've ever had is myself. Now, that might feel like a conceited thing to say, that I'm my own therapist, but to some extent, I think that everybody should be their own therapist, right? Like, first of all, there's a big stigma for like therapy in general, where it's like, if you go to therapy, you're a wuss and blah blah blah, and it's like you gotta like figure your own shit out. And I was definitely part of that camp after I talked with that Jason guy, right? I was like, yeah, therapy's ass, and I didn't like it. And I also kept it to myself that I went to therapy because I was embarrassed about it, right? But now I feel like I've matured a little bit. I can see how therapy helps a lot of people. But the reason why I'm kind of still in the camp of like being my own therapist is because even though Anna was a great person and she definitely like, you know, tried to help me and blah blah blah, but it was really just me talking. And I think that just for me personally, because before that I had already started my overthinking Asian videos, and okay, this is very disorganized. However, I'll say this: my videos are kind of split into 2 kind of camps. One side is like about my life, and I talk about my life, and they're like issues I have and things I think of and blah blah blah, and like just me going and through life navigating TS, right? And then the other side is like me actually talking about topics like religion. I've done a few, like BP, done a few on those. Those are like those videos, right? And before I started actually consciously like thinking about the audience that I'm speaking to, right? Because even now, I don't know if I'm going to post this video, but we'll see. But right now, when I'm talking, I am I'm definitely filtering myself. I'm definitely filtering myself because I'm aware of, you know, kind of the audience that I'm speaking with, right? Like, you know, anybody could see this video. People that I like, people that I don't like, people that, you know, I love, people I don't love, blah, 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 could definitely see this video. And I'm keeping that in mind, right? Keeping it in mind. Anyways, being your own therapist. I am very, so when I was with Anna, I'm like because I had started doing those therapy videos, let's call them, where I'm basically trying to be my own therapist. And those are like the ones that a lot of them are not released. And I have so many, like, just on my computer, just sitting there. And I can open them up, and a lot of times it's just me whining, but whatever. But these videos, right, they're like, and because of those videos, I feel like when I went to these therapy sessions senior year of high school with Mrs. Litvinoff, I was already pretty self-aware, right? Like, I was already like saying like, yeah, I feel this emotion because of this, and blah, 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 blah. And obviously she like added her professional opinion and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But I was always kind of felt like I was being my own therapist. And all that is just to say that I think I needed myself to be my own therapist right now because of just I don't know, about just my current, not issues. I don't like the word issues because the position I'm in as a person is so, like, what's it called? It's so, I don't believe in God, but it's a very blessed position, right? Like, I go to college. I have scholarships for it. You know, I have a bed, a roof. You know, it was pouring today, and I'm completely dry, right? Like, I have so many blessings. So I don't like the word issues, but for a better word, my current issues. So, and I needed my own personal therapy because I feel like, I guess, like, every time I do these videos, it feels like I'm trying to solve like a puzzle. And I like that. I think that's one of the beauties of like life that I kind of appreciate is, you know, looking at it like, okay, there's a situation I'm in. What's the next move? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's my next play? What's the next move? It's like kind of like a chess game, but it's more ambiguous than that because I don't know who I'm playing against, and I really don't know what the end goal is. So it's a little bit harder than a chess game, but you still got to make a move nevertheless. So, current issues. College. It's shit, man. I don't like it. Which is a surprising thing, right? Because you would think, you know, with my pedigree that I would love college and that, you know, this is like on paper, like I seem like the guy that's like, hell yeah, man, let's study. Let's do this academic shit, right? And dude, I have some assignments I have to do today. And I'm like, fuck all. I could not give a shit, bro. I don't even like engineering anymore. Like, I'm feeling so dissuaded from my major, which is probably not the right thing to say because I haven't taken like any engineering classes. But it's like I'm just doing BS gen eds, and I'm like, I don't really give a shit about physics, man. I don't know. I don't really care about multivariable calculus and learning about fucking like vector geometry inside three axes. Axes. I don't really care. I'm not super engaged with I don't feel super engaged with the subject matter, right? That's one. Two, I feel pretty engaged with my philosophy readings, which are cool, and I like them. Those are interesting, and I am enjoying those. But that's got me thinking. It's like, well, what do I want to major in? Because, you know, I could switch. I could be like a data science major. I could be a philosophy major. I could be, you know, I have so many options. So again, it's not an issue. It's just I just don't know, right? So that's one thing. That's like one of the things that's troubling me right now. And then just the fact that I don't feel very, I don't know, I think I just have a general apathy, which I was just describing, but I also feel I just feel, obviously, like, it's only the first 2 weeks, but it's like, you know, leaving like all your friends behind, leaving people that you've built bonds with for like 4 years, and even longer. I mean, I was literally on the phone with one of my friends this morning who I've known since I was like 4 or 5 years old, right? We've gone to the same schools for like, 10 plus years, like a decade, man. And a decade to me, I'm 17, right? A decade to me is an insane. I can't fathom what my life is going to look like a decade from now, right? No clue, right? I can't even begin to conceptualize what my life is like in 10 years. And that's how long I've known some of my friends, right? And now he goes to a school that's, I mean, honestly, it's only like 2 hours away, but we go to different schools now. And it's like our lives are branching apart. And that's hard. It's scary. It's kind of sad, right? It's like, damn, bro. I want to see my brother, like my bro, not my brother I can see like anytime. I'm probably going to see him today. I saw him like yesterday, or 2 days ago. And tomorrow I have plans to play tennis with him if it doesn't rain in the morning. But whatever. It's like I feel isolated because there's people that life is really about habits, right? Like if you look at like the 5 biggest habits you have, or let's say you look at someone and you just get like the 10 habits they have, or 10 biggest habits they have, you get a pretty good like feel for what their life is about, right? And I think that it's just become a habit that I'm going to have these people with me all the time. I'm going to have these people in my classes. I'm going to have, I'm always going to have people to sit with at lunch. I'm always going to have people to sit next to in class. People are, there's always someone's going to save me a spot here. Or when teacher says group work, boom, I have a group already. Or someone says partner up with the guy next to you, I know the guy next to me, right? And like I'm going to do whatever with them. And now that's not a reality anymore, which sucks. And I feel lonely a little bit. Or let's be honest, I feel lonely a lot of it, right? I mean, I'm sitting in my car in a Dollar Tree parking lot and I'm talking to myself. Obviously, I'm a little bit lonely. Duh. So that's a thing, right? Not having those friends. And I think, and that's like 2 things, right? Not super engaged with the academics, which sucks. Friends, don't really have them yet. And obviously, like, it's second week. So I'm not going to say, oh my God, I'm so alone. I'm never going to have friends. I give up. I have no friends, blah, 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 blah. I'm banking on the fact that I will make friends. And I feel like I'm a pretty sociable, nice person that I'll be able to do that. But it's like, it's not instantly clicking, and that sucks. The next thing, 3rd thing, and I think this is the most troubling. The thing that's distracting me the most. And I'll be honest, if I post this video, I'm probably going to cut this part out. So, future editing Malik. Anyways, back to it. Do I have my solutions? I do. I think that the right solutions for the first problem of the academics and the whatnot is, like I said it in my cut it out part, but I'll say it again. I know I'm not the smartest person anymore. It's fine. And I've been telling myself that for a while. And now what's happening, and obviously is generating some insecurity. And that insecurity is I don't like feeling insecure. But I think the solution to that is to work harder. I think, everyone's smart, right? Like, or at least everyone has some sort of level of smartness. And you can't let's just, maybe this is like too much of a philosophical or whatever, neurological question of like, are you born with a certain level of smartness? Can you increase that? Well, I don't know the answer to that. But for argument's sake, let's just say you start off with a base level stat of smarts. Now, if you can't change it, then the only thing you have control over is how hard you work and the amount of effort you put in to differentiate yourself from other people. So you can be the smartest person in the room. Doesn't mean that you're going to succeed the most. Doesn't mean that you actually know the most, right? Someone who works 10 times harder than the smartest person in the room might be in actuality smarter than them, So I think that's the mindset. So I got to work harder because I've been coasting on the smartness for a while. And now the right move stepping forward is to work harder at my studies and stuff like that. Second issue, getting friends. I mean, clubs are going to start up. That's how I can meet more people. Intramural sports will be fun. And it's only 2 weeks. So have some faith in my social skills, I think. And then for the third issue, don't overthink. And what's it called? Don't overthink and one step at a time. I think that's the right play. That's the right things to do. With everything in consideration, that's like the right thing is to do that. And yeah, just to conclude today, guys, I think back to the classics. No mic, in the car, driving around, even though most of it I have not been driving. But be your own therapist, okay? I think for a lot of people, therapy can be a really great thing of getting another person to look into your life and being like, and giving you some advice, or being a shoulder you can rest your head on, or being a pair of ears that can help you. And I love being that person for other people. I love to help other people. I low-key like it when people come to me, or when people have issues and they call me up, or they want to talk to me. I love that, and I love being that person, because first of all, I think it's like one of the biggest compliments you can get is that people trust you enough where they like, not like put their life in your hands, but like trust you and want to hear your take on their life, and they like actually take that advice to heart. I love that feeling. I think that's low-key fire as hell. You know, getting to listen, or getting to have that responsibility. I like having that. Where was I going with this? And yeah, so like I have nothing against people reaching out for help, or you know, wanting to be helped, right? And obviously I think that's a lesson I should have, is that I should do that more, and you know, not have to always, you know, be my own therapist. However, I think that everyone to some extent should have the ability to sit down and be with their own thoughts and actually like sit there and talk to yourself. And now I don't mean like think in your head. I literally mean talk to yourself. Like I literally have the camera here just so it gives me something to talk to. But even before the overthinking, even before the first vid I made, right, of me talking about like me trying to kill myself and stuff, and like not even showing my face, even before that, like if you want to know the real lore, it started even before that. It started, right? For a few weeks I was doing it by myself, talking to nobody. There was literally nothing there, and those conversations are now, you know, that was me screaming into the void, and those words are now lost forever. They will never be found, right? I can't remember what I was talking about. I was just talking about probably just BS stuff happening in my life. But I started feeling better after I did it, because I was talking to myself, right? Like, newsflash, the person you're going to spend the most time with in your life is going to be you, right? Think about all the times you take a shower. Every time you like sit down and like freaking have to like use the bathroom or whatever, you're with yourself. You're not with nobody else. Every time you have to sit down and do homework in your room, or every time, you know, you have to drive somewhere, you're by yourself. And what kind of life do you want to have? Do you want to have a life where you can't communicate with yourself, and you're always scared of your own thoughts, and you're always scared of talking to yourself because you're scared of who knows of what you're going to say to yourself, or of what truths you will unearth? Or do you want to be a person that can handle yourself and be able to manage yourself without having to have the help of other people? Not saying that the help of other people is bad. It's definitely not a bad thing, okay? It's always good to reach out. And if, you know, everything goes to shit and you're trying to figure it out and you can't, you know, be your own therapist, then reach out, and you need that extra helping hand. There's no shame in that. But I think being able to sit down with yourself, talk your problems out, and then come up with some sort of plan or some sort of tangible, like, action-orientated items that you can do, I think is a skill that everyone should have, right? And obviously, like, these videos, you don't have to video yourself doing it, but I just like making the videos because, I mean, I don't think that I'm, like, at the level of, like, inspiring people, but who knows, man? Maybe eventually I can build a platform or whatever, but that's, like, again, so far in the future, I don't have to think about it. But I think that just the ability to be your own therapist, right? It shouldn't be such a foreign idea, right? Just being able to sit down, but none of this BS of like sitting down and like, just like, oh, I'm feeling really lonely. I know I'm feeling lonely right now. So, let me call up my friend, or let me like, just drown myself in, or like bottle up this emotion or whatever, right? That's not the right idea. You can express your emotions to yourself, right? You don't have to be with other people. Like right now, I'm expressing my emotions. I'm being, you know, blah, 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 and I'm talking to myself. So yeah, maybe this is getting too convoluted, but again, in conclusion, be your own therapist. It's okay to reach out for help, but you need to have the skill of being able to be your own therapist, okay? You have to be able to manage your own life. You have to be able to talk, you know, be able to problem solve your own life, right? That's the beauty, and that's the point of it, right? I have to keep reminding myself, life, you would want to kill yourself if every single day you woke up and you did the exact same thing and you had the exact same routine and you never had any problems, right? It's the common this is a common argument in philosophy that you would never choose, if there was a pleasure machine where you could, press a button and for the rest of your life live in complete ecstasy, you would not press that button, and that proves, and maybe this is too fast of a thought experiment. Let's just say, if you could press a button and just, always feel amazing and just live in absolute pleasure, the pleasure machine, right? You could press it. You wouldn't press that button, which proves, and actually think about it, let's say if you could just scroll away the rest of your life and, have every other need met, like have a roof and food and a place to sleep and whatnot, and you could just get instant dopamine all the time scrolling on your phone. You would choose, every single conscious being would choose not to do that, which proves that you want to have some sort of challenge, that you want to feel the pain, that you need to have that pain to have the pleasure, and you need the pain to make it make life worth living. Okay, again, you would want to kill yourself if every single day was the same thing over and over and over again, good or bad. Okay, so you got to have the ups and downs, and if you want to, right now I'm in a down. I'll be honest, I'm not feeling the best, but I mean, I'm kind of talking myself into I'm feeling better already, just getting my emotions out. And I also think I'm also talking myself into more appreciation for life, because my life is thankfully not just a same thing over and over and over again. There's variation and there's problems that I have to solve, which is the point, which is why life is worth living, is because there are problems you have to solve. So yeah, I don't know. Yep. Third time, in conclusion, be your own therapist. It's okay to reach out for help when you need it, but it's better to be able to be your own therapist and solve your own problems. And solving problems and fixing your life is what makes life worth living. Okay, if you never had to do any of that, you'd want to end your life, because it'd be stupid and you wouldn't have any actual will to live. So yeah. Anyways, peace out, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry about cutting out the third thing. I think it's best if I keep TS to myself for now. So bye bye, guys.